Cox said that on the busted coverage play, the 88-yard touchdown, that Jarrell maybe wasn't clear in communicating the play out. He said maybe it had something to do with concussion symptoms or anything. Was there clear communication from Jarrell before that play to the rest of the defense?
Hybrid situation like that, you got calls coming in. You got Atlanta trying to speed up the offense, and they were doing that the whole game, right? So if you really look back, there were a couple times where we were getting calls in fast. They were running up to the line. So in the flow of the game, you can't really you can't say everything that's going on. But it's something that we wish we could have handled a little bit better. But that was the situation we were in.
I know you guys would have wanted to celebrate with a victory in week 1, but how gratifying was it for you after the organization rewarded you with the new contract that you were able to have as good a performance as you did individually?
It's tough to there's no moral victories, right? You don't get the W, you don't get the W. Simple as that. I'm happy about the fact that I'm going to be here for a number of years. It's something that I've always wanted, something that the organization told me that they wanted for me. To have your team say that they want to keep you around in that way when they don't have to, right? They could let me play on my contract and go somewhere else. For them to have that investment in me, it just makes me want to pour out everything in my tank just a little bit harder.
You play for a consistent winner in New England. Do you see signs of a strong team emerging here in Chicago?
I think we got a lot. We got a lot more steps we got to take. To be perfectly honest, there's a lot more steps we got to take in order to get where we want to be. But as far as the foundation, we couldn't ask for a better foundation with the guys that we have here, the coaching staff that we have here. I've taken leaps. When I talk about the coaching staff, I talk about my guy first, right? Jay Rogers. The leaps and bounds I've been able to take, having him as somebody that's like giving me advice and putting me in the right position. As a whole, I just think we're going so far, as far as just putting people in the right places and just being a better football team. Front seven, secondary, defense, that's what I'm going to talk about because that's where I'm at. It's just we're so much further ahead than we were at this point last year.
The run defense was really good throughout August and obviously backed it up again yesterday. What have you seen in that element of the defense that's given you confidence of what you guys are doing?
Give me that one more time, sorry.
Just how strong the run defense was throughout the preseason. Obviously, held 2 really good backs yesterday down to 2.7 per carry. What have you seen in the run defense throughout the last month and a half that gives you confidence in where this thing's headed?
I'm going to say the same word I've been saying, man. We're tenacious. There's just guys are getting after it. We're just hitting, and it's tougher, it's stronger. And like I was telling him, we're so much further ahead, right? So the plays that we're getting in, we don't have to think as much anymore. It's especially the guys that came in last year. We don't have to think as much anymore because we've seen it already, and we know what we're supposed to be doing. So I think that's giving us all the answers that we need as far as shutting the run down. That's going to be our first point of emphasis every week, shut the run down.
What have you seen with Nick when he's been out there and he's got to play a lot now with Jarrell hurt? How can he help him?
He's been chomping at the bit. He wants to play. He's ready. He's eager, and I think that he's gotten better. And I thought that he flashed last year pretty well, and look forward to seeing what he can bring to our defense, if need be.
How bad are you going to feel for Kevin White? I mean, third straight year he's going through this.
I'm gonna be completely honest. That hurt me to see that. I was like right on the sideline when he came off, and everybody gets hit. It's a physical game. He hasn't been able to catch a break. You feel for a guy, whether he was on another team, but he's right here at home, and it hurts just a little bit more. Just seeing him not being able to step back on the field yet.
As tenacious and nasty as you guys are playing, is there another level to get to where you kind of strike fear in an offense and can sense that, you know what I'm saying, and really have some bite to you, where teams get turnovers, force mistakes, force mental error? Is there another level to get to as far as your aggressiveness and just attitude?
Definitely great word usage. I would say that we are. There's a lot of steps we've got to take. There's always a progression, right? There's always another level you can get to. But I feel like the moment we start executing better, I think that will be even more vicious and strike fear into. I think we're striking fear into people now. I know that they didn't want to run the ball anymore, but I'll say that there's definitely another level we can get to.
Did New England have that? I know they're sometimes not always statistically the best defense, but it seems like in certain times when they really needed it, like at the end of the game, like at that Super Bowl or whatever, it seems like they impose their will on an offense and force errors. I mean, did you notice that in that defense? I mean, is that a real effect against somebody?
Oh, that's what great defenses do. Whether you're talking about the early 2000s Baltimore Ravens, whether you're talking about the Niners in the probably about 4 or 5 years ago, you strike fear into an offense, and that makes them just a little bit more cautious when they're calling their plays. And I feel like when we get there, it's going to be something. We're not there yet.
During the spring or summer, did Tariq leave his first impression on you?
When he was making cats miss left and right. I mentioned this yesterday. Guy caught a ball out in the flat. Well, Tariq, got a ball to him out in the flat, and I knew instantly he was going to make the first guy miss. That's just the kind of quick twitch guy he is, and I've seen it a bunch. I've seen it one too many times in training camp. So I can only imagine that he's going to be a special player in this league.
I'm sure you guys saw those plays that they designed for him in practice. How successful was he going against you guys with some of those looks that the Falcons then saw on Sunday?
Oh, one-on-one matchups, it's ugly. You can hear the chatter, you know what I mean, going through training camp and stuff like that, where guys are getting matched up on him and saying, oh, man, here we go. You know what I mean? And that's a great feeling because now he's not torturing us anymore. He's torturing other defenses. So I think that he's going to be a good player, and I look forward to seeing more of him in the future.
Did you even with how fearless he is for a 5'6" rookie coming from North Carolina A&T?
I think 5'6" is a reach. To be honest, I'm not the governor on height, but I'm a pretty tall guy. So when I see guys, I'm like, okay, everybody wants to be a little bit taller than they actually are. He's going to be vicious, and at that stature, you're going to have to be, vicious, right? You're going to have to be able to take a couple hits and get up. And I think we all saw yesterday, he can take the hit and he can get up and go for the next play. And not only does he take the hit, but he takes the hit and he's juiced about it, And I don't know if that says there's something wrong with him, but he likes it. He likes to have fun. He loves football.
Did you hear, it seemed like the crowd, whenever he got hit, the crowd would kind of audibly go, I mean, did you guys notice that when you were down
When you have a guy that's 4'9", you worry about him sometimes. But I was impressed, man. He'd take his lick, he'd get up, and he'd go right back in the huddle, or he'd come to the sideline, and he's ready to go. And that's football, though. That's what you're supposed to do. And it's just, I think everybody gets a little, there's a little awe to it when you see a guy so small, doing those things. I'm sure he's going to give it to me for calling him so small. But
Even with that, though, the play that he lowered his shoulder into Trufant to get in the end zone, it seemed like that one really resonated with the locker room after the game.
Beautiful thing is, Trufant couldn't really get up on him because he was afraid he was going to make a move, right? So when you get a guy scared of your first move, whether you're in pass rush or blocking as offensive lineman or any position, when you get a guy scared of the first move, it opens up a lot more, and that's why he was able to run him over.
In your own words, a few minutes ago, you talked about taking some leaps forward. You've obviously improved a lot since you got here. Have you noticed teams reacting to that all and how they're attacking you? You seeing more double teams, differences in the way that they're trying to block you?
I've been 6'5", 300 pounds since I was in high school. I've been seeing double teams my whole life. So I'll always see that and play it the way it goes.
So, but I mean, especially as you're making more plays, it's still the same look. You're beating it as you improve.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And just different subject. 6 years in the NFL, college football. Have you ever had a teammate or seen anybody with the kind of luck that Kevin White has had? 3 straight season-ending injuries.
Can't say so, no. No.
The Buccaneers are scrambling all this week to get back to Florida, to get back in their preparation routine. Anything in your career where it was out of the normal week where you were just scrambling and there were circumstances beyond your control where you guys had to freak out or figure out your preparation?
I think 1 year I was in New Orleans, there was a storm coming, and we had to, I think we went to Cleveland. We had to get out of the city and go play somewhere else. So one thing Fox told us today was that we're playing Tampa on Sunday, so you prepare like that all week. We're going to prepare and get ready to play Tampa. Yeah.
Can you imagine what they're going through, though? I know it's a game and all that. You're not going to worry about that on Sunday, but it's got to be a tough week for them, obviously.
That's got to be tough. Anytime that you have loved ones and you're in the middle of a crisis situation, I know that has to weigh heavily on a person. And I have family in Florida. Lots of guys on the team have family in Florida, and your heart goes out to them, and you hope that they're all right and that they're doing well. And at the end of the day, we do have a game to play, and I'm sure that they're taking it that way, and they know they have to bring their A game, whether they have tough circumstances or not. Definitely, guys. Pleasure.